One second. Okay, so I believe it's showing that I am live in YouTube world. So look, I'm no expert at doing lives over here. Mm, sometimes this is working and sometimes it's not. So anyway, I am glad to be back. This is family. I've got Facebook over here, everybody, and I've got YouTube over there. So I'm talking to both communities, both groups. I want to say thank you for joining me. I have the reading for tomorrow. So we're doing a day ahead. We are allowing the energies to be channeled so that we can see and feel what is happening. The interesting thing is that whatever's happening is coming from energy of today. So it's not rocket science. Hey, she says, how are you? So it's not rocket science for to be able to discern where the information is coming from, like the foundation of it. And so I have people that ask, how are you able to read in the future or a few days in advance? Like, are you doing some, channeling the spirits or, what is it that you're doing? Is this some sort of witchcraft in a way? Well, you can call it whatever you want, tomato, tomato, witchcraft, divination. I'm going to tell you it's reading energy, and everybody has an energy signature. It has a tail on it. And so today's tail will lead into tomorrow. So that when we're pulling cards, that's what's happening. It's literally taking the tail, the energy of the day, as a signature, and then show you how it's moving forward. Anyway, now I can't tell you the topic that it's covering because sorry, that's hot. I have my incense burning in my cauldron, and I went to pick it up. Usually it's not hot at the bottom, but it was because I had a lot of ash in there. So anyways, I have three kings incense that I'm putting in here, and I already have my candles burning. Just one second, let me just do this. And I love the ash because I make my black salt from the ash. Okay, now going forward, I I I allow the cards to show where and what the topic is. Earlier in the week, the topic was with P Diddy. Then it switched up and was about, or maybe last week it was about politics. And then a couple of days ago, it was reflecting um, the floods in Florida and Tennessee and um, a lot of the townships that are gone. And it's interesting because I pulled the Tower card. So, and that's not an easy card to pull. And it's not an easy card to want to talk about because it is a very serious card. I had a neighbor of mine. She knows I do the tarot, and she says, I need to ask you something, and it's kind of something I'm terrified about. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, when somebody pulls the death card, what does that mean? Hey, cousin, how are you, Danielle? She says, what does it mean? And I said, well, the death card never means death. But media wants you to believe that when the death card is pulled, it's like, woo, right? And it's always some sort of mystic or um, offbeat program, movie, or whatever. Um, and they go to some tarot reader, and she pulls a death card. And then all of a sudden, whoever the person is that they are you know, concerned about shows up dead. So then now that's pre-programming people to believe that that card represents death. And that card doesn't represent death at all. However, it does represent change, change to a circumstance. So in itself, the death is metaphoric. It is not literal. But there are cards that can show you that something is happening that could be a real serious concern. And so I share those pieces of information in my class because I think just for somebody to just know, oh, which card is it? That if they see the card, they're going to assume that it always means somebody's going to come up, kaput. And it doesn't. There's different aspects of what destruction and recreation is about. Or if it comes up reverse those particular cards, then those cards can show that something had to be torn down in order to start over, right? However, this death card that everybody is afraid of is not even worth the energy to be afraid. Mm, that's my smoothie for the day. Okay. So, anyways, let's see if this is going to lean more into personal or if it's going to be on the political scene. We have a lot of stuff happening and a lot of choices to make. I was talking with someone the other day, and it became apparent that maybe the red and blue isn't where we got to go. Maybe we do green. Green is growth, and then 420 is green, right? So green is not bad. So I think people get so inundated and flooded with these two primary colors that they don't see that there truly is other options. And maybe they're not able to campaign as extensively because there's not enough money going into those other factions, and all the money is millions and millions of dollars are going into the red and blue. And what is the red and blue doing? The red and the blue is doing the same thing. They're really sleeping in the same bed. Now I'm not going to go into any details about that, but I'm sure if you look at history, you'll see that what you didn't want with one all of a sudden becomes what the one that you chose starts doing. Whew. It's just crazy. But let's just see what this energy is for us. All right. And I'm using the regular original tarot deck. I have some really beautiful cards up here. I have the Witch's Tarot. I have the Hoodoo. I've got the Insight. I've got Herb Crafters. I've got just depending on what it is that's needed. Okay, first card. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. That's a great card. That's a good start. I like the fact there's a black cat down there, okay? So, because we're in the month of October. Samhain is coming, October 31st. Samhain, spelled Samhain, otherwise known as Halloween. So, Queen of Wands, let's figure out what's going on. Is the yellow denoting courage, or is it coming up a little bit of cowardice? Let's see. This is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so this can be applied in our personal life. So it's not necessarily about politics. I mean, you can do with it the way you feel, but this is something personal. So the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Let's keep going. And there's a lot of yellow in this card too, as well. Check that. There's a lot of yellow. Okay. Third card, reverse, Knight of Swords. So I'll show you what it looks like first. Knight of Swords. So something's got to stop. We're not going to keep moving forward about something. So I'll put it together in just a second as the spirit shows me what it's doing, what it's speaking on. Oh, and the Four of Cups. This is really an eclectic reading. The Four of Cups. Every time I see this card, this little boy pouting all over the place. You know, we could be like that. We're pouting about, you know, life, right? And our choices, what people are communicating to us. Maybe we don't want to hear it. We don't want to listen to it. So, Spirit is guiding me to pull another card. Oh, reverse, Ace of Pentacles. There it is, Ace of Pentacles. That shows up reversed. I'm going to show you what that looks like when it's reversed. That's an interesting observation. Ace is individual, but this is reversed. This is not about individual. This is a collective. Okay, so we got Queen of Wands. I'm not going to say this is about being a coward. It is definitely, this queen is really standing up in a courageous place. So think about what's going on in your life right now, and that you are intuitively standing your ground. Check that. And then you have the opportunity to make things happen. That's the one, so it's not combative. You have the opportunity to make things happen, creative. Notice the lines at the very top. So I'm going to say that within the mind, you might be thinking more passionately about something, and you are intuitively correct about whatever's going on. There's that little cat sitting right there. So those are the indicators for me, and it's a matter of being showing some courage and creativity. She's wearing a lot of yellow. Now, it's affecting our personal household. So think about what it is you've intuitively figured out and how it's affecting your household. Because that's the 10 of Pentacles. Pentacles has to do with the house. Now, also 10, when we look at the numerology of it, the 1 plus the 0, and then that ends up being a 1. It's still an individual path. So we have the Queen, individual, that's you, and it's affecting your household. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, whatever it is that you need to do or are needing to accomplish. Now, I find it very interesting. There's the old man right there. And then there's the 2 dogs. Now, the dogs can also represent intuition, just like the cats, the familiars, right? But dogs have a very interesting disposition. They are truly needing interaction where cats don't need any. They don't really need to be coddled, but dogs do, right? Okay. So the old man is really supporting this household. So the resources that the queen has is because the king or whoever is involved is a provider. And it may not feel good, but nonetheless, there are provisions. Okay. Now, the Knight of Swords. Swords are your intellect, the way you think. It can be about intuition only if it's forward facing. But this time it's reversed. And so this means that it's really on a mundane level. It's the way you're thinking. It's not even about the way you're speaking. It's the way you're thinking that has to stop. Okay, that is really important. It's the way you're thinking. So your perspective might not be in alignment. It might be an old way of thinking, or it may not be a fully responsible in the way that is yeah, the way that is being presented. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Then the Four of Cups shows up. Now the Four of Cups isn't you. You are the queen, and then there's the provider right here, right? But then there is another person there. And this person may be complaining in their spirit. You see that card? They might be complaining on what it is that they've contributed. Now, what I find interesting that there's three cups at the bottom, and cups also represent relationships. So these are, and they're on the ground. So this is something in the past. Something in the past, but then there's something that's in front of this person, which can be you. And it really isn't a divine aspect of a relationship. Now, if you notice, he's sitting in front of the tree, and this is just intuitively coming to me. He's sitting right there at the tree, so that means that he has resources. Now, his tree is not really, really full, but it's not barren either. You see? So it may be that this queen, she's creative, she's intuitive, she does have some gift. She's valuable. She is being cared for. However, there's negative communication about it. Hey there, I will. There's negative communication. This shows up reversed. It's negative thinking. And what's so negative about this? Well, again, there's the old relationships down there. So here's what I'm going to say about this. Maybe this person functioned differently and felt used and felt um, out of alignment with the people down here, right? These people may have used him, her, whatever it is. And so then now there's a divine connection, and it's hard to connect right there because all this person can do is remember these old experiences. And so it makes it hard to want to, do. Now look at this. Ace of Pentacles shows up reversed. And it's where we think it's great this way. This is holding back based on those cards. So it shows up reverse. And that is having a spirit of gratitude and sharing. And that it's from a divine place. Notice here in this card, you see the spirit that is dwelling right there. It's coming. That relationship is in a divine place. See that right there? It's in a divine place. And then look at this card. It's in a divine place. This spirit of release, or even to share, or even to participate. And it's not always easy, especially if you have dealt with people that have taken advantage, not shown any gratitude, has spoken ill of your time and energy in the past, right? So, what is it that we can do as the queen? Remain in your remain. Oh, hey, Phoenix! Thanks for watching. I'm glad to see you. Um, just remain in your power. You don't have to over communicate about who you are and why it's important that somebody pay attention to you or somebody is caring for you, because the universe is already working in your best favor. The universe is already working for you, already showing you that you are in a divine place. Here you're sitting as the queen, and your resources are cared for. And even if a person feels slightly negative about doing it, it's only because of their past experiences of doing something for other people that didn't really appreciate them. However, Spirit is admonishing the person it's okay. It's okay to let it go and share. Because the eventuality is that there's harmony and there's growth and there's building. You see all that? You see? So that's actually energy that's flowing into tomorrow. So whatever's happening today is affecting how it's showing up tomorrow. And you might feel a little bit where you want to speak out and stand up for yourself and say something. And that is not saying to do that. It's saying keep your position, your high position, stay connected, keep creating, be passionate about what you are thinking, you're in your creation, and stay in that energy of positive creation. See all that yellow? Stay in that energy. See those sunflowers? Yeah, I love this. The cards are so wonderful, especially as we see them unfold and they end up, yeah. That's all I want to say about that. And I like the fact that this reading showed up the way that it did, because, like I said, the last couple of days it's been about worldly affairs. And so it's wonderful when we get something that's really showing us that the universe is listening to our quiet prayers, our moment of questioning whatever it is. So, for my YouTube family, thank you very much for watching for today's episode. How you can assist me is make sure that you like and you subscribe. If you have already subscribed, make sure that you've got the little bell toggled so that you can get all of the notifications. For my Facebook family, it's a little different. Like and comment on this thread. That's how the algorithm works here. So I really appreciate when you do. And for either one, you can click to subscribe to our community, Be Well. It's a magical community. So if somebody says, well, what kind of stuff? Well, it's all the stuff that I post on my profile, but there's explanation and then there's an activity. And when you're taking advantage of the activity, you're going to find your life really feeling enriched as you might understand how to work with a particular goddess. And that might be an aspect of your personality that you need to bring out. Like this month, it's the goddess Demeter. And she is a beautiful goddess. She's the mother of Persephone. And that story is interesting because this group of people, Persephone, Demeter, um, Hecate, they all come from a particular lineage. And that lineage is as far back as Cush. So these are making the goddesses a very indigenous group of people. So it shows us that we can align ourselves with an aspect of our personality that needs to grow, and being able to link to that goddess and the personality so that you can now explore and expand and then magnetize. I'm using these words, um, manifest and then materialize. Nobody talks about materializing. They all talk about manifesting. So, how do we do that? And that's by doing the activities that are provided in the group. So, I do encourage you to join, subscribe. Oh, hi, Dr. Priya. Join and subscribe to my group so that you can participate in the activities where we're working with this month goddess Demeter. Many people know her as a Greek goddess, but she's from before the Greek pantheon. So she's during the empire and the experience of the people of Cush. So, and that's also connected to the Nephilim. So, there's a lot that's going on there, and we can glean some insight from this particular goddess to help us grow, expand, and continue to be beautiful. So, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and thank you, YouTube family. And Phoenix, I heard what you said, dear. Yeah, we do need to catch up. Now, if you're on my Facebook profile, make sure you can click and then send me a DM so that we can connect, okay? And then I'd love for you to join the community. There are women and men in the community, so it's not solely only for women. So, okay. Well, double check because my Facebook. I'm trying to think. My Facebook profile is REV Michaela Renee. So Rev Michaela Renee. Um, because I think there are like two or three profiles of me, but it's actually Rev Michaela Renee. And so you can look me up, and then you can add me as a friend, and then we can connect that way. So thank you so very much, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Thank you. Chirp, chirp. And thank you, Facebook family, for tuning in.